Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we're going to be covering some battles that I did on stream. I know people said that they didn't like my face being so huge on the screen, so I just moved over to the side. I know my face can be very distracting, and I appreciate that feedback. So we're going to be featuring battles from my stream. Let's make sure it's muted though. Yeah, it is. All right, we're going to be featuring two different teams here. Pretty common team compositions. With like the first one's a little bit different in terms of Pokemon. The second one obviously is a pretty standard one that we've seen quite a bit. The first one is Empoleon double fighters, and fighters that generally beat other fighters. So they're able to beat Escavalier, and depending on the scenarios, and they're able to beat Machamp. Toxicroak would be the big core breaker for this team. This backline also handles Swampert really well. Heracross with its bug typing does resist the mud shots and Earthquake if they do have it, and then as well dishes quite a bit of damage. I am rocking the moveset of Rock Blast and Mega Horn, and the Gallade is rocking Leaf Blade in close combat, and then standard moveset for the Empoleon. The second team is pretty standard, Escavalier and then two water types. Obviously, the biggest weakness for Escavalier is fire, so having two water types is really nice. Kingdra as a safe swap. Sometimes you see this team with Swampert instead of Empoleon, but basically you're looking for a really strong water type to deal with those Charizards. The second team, the big core breaker, is Trevenant, and I'll show like how I like to handle Trevenant in one of the good matchups. So let's go ahead and get started and see how we do. All right, we're going to have Empoleon into Obscune. Very bad lead, but obviously we're going to say switch here into Gallade, and then we're going to see what they're going to have in the back. So I'm going to let this go. Interesting that they're staying in. So oftentimes when I see Obscune, you either see like double Charm, you see double Poison, you see like double they actually came to Gallade. Okay, this is not particularly great, and they must got a confusion coming in because I should have got one more confusion. But so this is obviously not a Gallade situation. That was really bad here. I'm just gonna shield this. Likely they go for the close combat. If they go for Leaf, okay, they go for Leaf Blade, but they're not gonna make it to another Leaf Blade since I got the waterfall through. And then I actually think they have a Charizard in the back, so this is actually really, really bad here. I'm going to throw this Hydro Cannon. And then I am going to switch to Heracross. You can see how much this damage is, but they have a Wing Attack Charizard, which is absolutely disastrous for me. Honestly, the Fire Spin would have been better because it does less damage, because Heracross is 2 times weak to flying. You can see these wing attacks are like charge moves. Heracross actually does win the 0 shield versus Charizard, so obviously there's no point in shielding here. So I'm just going to let it go down. So tough game 1, but that's just basically a hard counter. Not really too much I could have done differently there. Obviously, if I, there wasn't really too much I could do. Like, even if I was up a shield like 2-1, the Charizard could just shield and so it's kind of worst case scenario. That's quite alright. Okay, I thought I cut out this this waiting time here, but that's okay. I do like this team. You're gonna see we're gonna have some really really clutch games a little bit later on. And as well, I'm doing a voiceover in my stream, right? So it's not me talking. All right, so, all right, Dragonite, this is fine. So I am anticipating that they're going to try to catch. So I'm not going to throw right away. Yeah, there you go. The unfortunate part is with no fighting moves, kind of have to just try to farm this down and then come out with 2 Rock Blasts. So I do expect it to be something else weak to fighting in the back. So I am good, or Escavalier. So I'm gonna throw the Rock Blast. Rock Blast does not. Okay, that's my dog in the background, getting excited because we have some new neighbors moving in. So I'm gonna shoot this because I have quite a bit of energy and I would be able to get to a 3rd Rock Blast. Hopefully, Kajin, come over here. Okay, all right. He's staying put. All right, I'm gonna throw this rock blast, and this is looking pretty good for me. Obviously, I can absorb the damage on Empoleon if they decide to farm down. And they come to Escavalier. I'm gonna throw 3 just so I don't give it any free counters, and this is looking pretty good for me regardless. If they didn't shield, then I would just fast move them down. So I'm going to be able to beat them to the move, and as well, like they need to land the Mega Horn, but they threw exactly when they got to the drill run. So we're going to actually CMP tie to the Mega Horn if they had Mega Horn, and this close combat is going to hit for neutral, but definitely will KO. So I felt pretty comfortable in that situation. So, all right, drinking some G Fuel, keeping me going. Yeah, how's everyone's seasons progressing? Are you hitting the goals that you want? How are you finding Ultra Premier Classic? I know for a lot of people it's their favorite meta, and I haven't played too much, maybe like 12 sets or something so far. But I find it enjoyable so far. I'm just waiting for Halloween Cup to go away. That way there's like a little less queue times for in Ultra Premier Classic. All right. We're going to see Empoleon into Escavalier. Obviously, really bad matchup. I'm going to go straight to Gallade, and they go into Snarlmuck. So this is looking okay for me. I'm going to take the move. Obviously, Sludge Wave would do quite a bit of damage. So would Dark Pulse, but Dark Pulse means that I can get to the close combat and get the Leap Blade before getting farmed down. Yeah, so I'm going to be able to get to the Sleep Blade, and the Sleep Blade going to hit for resisted damage, but that close combat does so much already. So I'm going to let this go. And they're pretty much dry at this point in time. So I'm just going to look to farm down with Empoleon. I'm not going to shield. Hopefully they... Oh yeah, I'm going to just... Yep. Okay, so they had 1 Snarl. Totally fine. Going to let this go. And then I'm actually going to throw the Hydro Cannon at this Escavalier, just because I'm going to lose CMP to it later. So might as well just get off this energy. It does quite a bit of damage. Going to go into Heracross here, and I have to respect the Aerial Ace. Even though most people don't carry Aerial Ace, they usually carry Drill Run Mega Horn. But this is looking pretty good for me. And the Drill Run would be resisted, but still would chunk. So, was still a plus I was up quite a bit. This is not going to KO. They're going to be able to get to the move. I can just shield again. And we're looking really good. You can see like Heracross resisting these counters. It's going to come in really clutch. You can see the damage difference is tremendous. Heracross with this bug typing, really nice. Rock Blast is just... Rock Blast is a bad move, but it's such a great coverage move. Cheaper energy, the cheapest move, and now the cheapest move isn't one that debuffs, so you're not like afraid to throw it. Like if that was close combat, for example, then well, I guess I would preserve the shield, but it would still have been not so great. So okay, so into Sylveon. So I'm gonna go straight into Snorlax here. I don't need to shield anything from the Snorlax. I do need to throw at it though. So I debated whether or not I want to like one shield and counter down. But the thing is that the Rock Blast don't do very much to Sylveon, so I wouldn't get the shield back. So I'm able to take it out. Obviously gonna come back in with Sylveon. Get 1 Rock Blast in. This is like pretty decent chip damage. And go into... I'm going to wait the clock out here. And it becomes an Obstagoon, which is obviously very bad for me. Basically, if this Obstagoon boosts any point in time, it's pretty much GG. I'm not going to shield. I'm going to have to shield this one, or else I would get counter down. And they get a counter through, which is not great for me. throw the leaf blade bank bait here, and we're gonna throw another leaf blade. It's mostly in this match. I just need to land the leaf blade, to be honest. So I'm gonna shield this. I should be able to get to the leaf blade before they get to another night slash. I think we would have been CMP tied. They actually tried to snipe me, and I'm looking pretty good. I just need to land. I throw at this stage just so I can't get countered down, and I need to land the hydro cannon against this Obstagoon. If they would have threw a cross shot, still would have probably been able to survive. But I would have had to get a waterfall through. At this point in time, this is GG. Just because I have a leaf blade banked, I'm able to take out the Obstagoon. Obstagoon obviously would have been it was like one of the worst Pokemon that I could see in that particular situation. Right. Clearly, I need to shake my G Fuel a little bit more, but that's good. All right. I think I faced Trevenant lead in this next match, which obviously is extremely difficult. No, Toxic lead also really difficult here. But here's the thing. Most of the time, they're double weak to counter in the back. This is like their counter user that beats all the other counter users, which is pretty true in this meta, since it does resist counter. I'm going to throw the Rock Blast. They should end up shielding just because I guess they don't want to get close combat in. I'm going to throw another Rock Blast. But I'm looking pretty decent in this situation. So if they Mud Bomb, I would survive because I'm a Bug type and resist the Ground type. And I'm going to throw the Rock Blast. Doesn't do very much damage, as you can see here. And then I'm actually going to try to snipe them because they're trying to counter me down. So they won't be able to switch. And this is looking pretty good. I'm just going to straight up close combat before they get to the Body Slam. And be able to take it out. And then here comes Lapras. And this is looking really, really good for me. Get the extra confusion in, but honestly, it didn't really matter. I'd survive another Ice Shard anyways. And I'm going to throw the close combat. This actually doesn't KO Lapras. It brings it to the red. And this is just GG, right? There's not too much they can do at that point in time. Obviously, on the opponent side, they probably could have no-shielded Toxicroak and then tried to lick down early or something. Okay, so obviously, very bad lead. It actually was Dragon Breath, so I'm not really sure. So I make a couple mistakes in this game. One, I can't really stay in that matchup. I really like that play by my opponent because I wasn't going to make it to an outrage, and then obviously the Octazooka was resisted. I get the attack fall, and my plan is basically to counter down this Gyarados, especially since the attack fell. But Escavalier is really squishing. So I am going to. I think I do like 5 more, and then I try to switch. I try to catch. Let's see. Okay, maybe I won 1 early, or maybe I just wanted to build up to 2. I'm gonna let this go. And my defense fell, which is honestly, if my defense didn't fall, this would have been really close game. But I make strategic error. CMP, I have to shield. Maybe the defense falling made no difference. Probably made no difference. And I shield this, and I should have countered down. Yeah, I should have countered down because I think one, I would live another waterfall, and 2 drill runs I think would KO the Charizard. And then as well, they wouldn't have any energy left. They wouldn't have gotten as much energy. Yeah, 2 draw runs. They would live the 2 draw runs, but a couple counters or 1 waterfall would have been enough. Yeah, so yeah, misplay on my side. Really well played by my opponent there. So tough game 1 again with this new team. But Dragon Breath Charizard was kind of like the worst case scenario. I probably should have stayed, but just taking the move there would have been pretty tough. All right, I'm gonna draw run. They would live the draw run, but I built up to the Mega Horn, and I'm gonna land another draw run. I forget what I do here. I let this go. Okay. I'm gonna let this go as well. They close combat this time. It's fine. I'm gonna Dragon Breath down. I'm looking pretty good. Here comes Empoleon. Gonna let this go. I am gonna outrage them, but I think I'm gonna build up a little bit. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5 right before they get to it. And I'm going to outrage, going to do a lot of damage. And then I'm going to try to catch the Drill Peck onto Empoleon. But honestly, I thought about it. I'm like, ugh, kind of want to preserve a little bit of health. And they end up letting it go. So I thought about it. I'm like, ugh, well, I don't want to get fast moved down. Especially Kingdra is a little bit squishy. Okay, so here comes Dragonite. And I'm going to throw the Mega Horn. Mega Horn is resisted, but it will do a lot of damage to the Dragonite. And I try to catch the move. I'm just going to let this go. They come to Venusaur, so this is actually totally fine for me. Because with the Dragon Breath that they threw, honestly, they just needed probably to Claw, and then I would have been in basically Frenzy range, so they're going to try to farm me down. But I'm looking pretty good. Yeah, okay, I guess it makes sense that when they threw the Hurricane and so they kind of a weird play. Maybe they forgot how much energy I had, because and they wanted to fast move deny. But the problem is that I just get to another draw run, so they had quite a bit of energy. They definitely had enough for another Frenzy, and I'm gonna switch to Kingdra. I am gonna shield this, and they come into Muck. I believe they will beat me to the Thunder Punch. Yes, they will, and this Outrage should almost KO or KO this Muck. Their backline obviously was really weak to Escavalier. Escavalier is a huge core breaker for their team. And then I'm going to be able to Dragon Breath down. This Dragonite, even if it got to a Claw, I would be able to counter them down because they're pretty low at that point in time. Alright, we go straight into this third match. We're going to have Escavalier into Obscune. Obviously, fantastic lead. We're going to see what they're going to come into. They're going to come to Trevenant here. So obviously, really, really difficult matchup for me. They actually end up letting it go, which is pretty huge. I do expect them not to bait after they decide to no shield, and I'm able to Dragon Breath it down, which is very fortunate for me. Otherwise, I would have had a pretty tough matchup. I'm going to let this go. I don't expect them to... What do I do here? I don't know if I expect them to shield. I guess they have 2 shields. Okay, yep, it was a good call. I actually didn't expect them to shield, but it was kind of 50-50 situation. And the Night Slash, they come to Gengar, and this is looking pretty good for me, especially since I got the waterfall through. Even if they Shadow Punch me, they end up going straight for the ball, and I'm just gonna fast move them entirely way down. And they decide to leave the match. So Obstagoon double Ghost, pretty spicy team. I think I faced someone the other day that had like Obstagoon, Gorgeous, and Trevenant. And we're gonna have, oh man, okay, Trevenant lead is really tough. So I go straight to Empoleon, and they come into Obstagoon, and I'm gonna throw the Hydro Cannon. Oh, this is looking pretty rough for me. And I'm gonna let this go. I think actually this should take me out. Yeah, I'm gonna wait the clock out, and then I need to farm this all the way down. Obviously, they're at like almost no health, so I get 3 counters. So they actually end up surviving this 1 extra counter for me, which actually ended up being huge because it allowed the clock to stall out for 1 more second. They come to Amok, and I'm going to let this go because I figured they're going to Acid Spray, which they end up doing. And I really need this debuff. Honestly, this game comes down to this debuff here. And they no shield. I should have outraged them as soon as they Acid Sprayed me. I am going to shield. Oh, no, I'm not going to shield this one, okay? Interesting. Interesting call, King. And I'm going to farm down. And then I only have one chance here. Well, 2 chances. One is to outrage, and then maybe I would be able to counter down afterwards, or get the debuff, and this is looking really good for me. Even without the debuff, it wouldn't have mattered. I just needed to get the shield. Maybe I should have just straight outrage, to be honest. But maybe I would have been. Maybe they could have went straight Seed Bomb, but I think I outpaced them. So yeah, I would have been able to outpace them. Getting those extra counter in was really huge for me. And I'm able to Mega Horn and take out the Trevenant. Some pretty tough situation. Obviously, they could have not baited me with the Acid Spray, and it would have been a slightly better situation for them. But we come out with the win. So the two pretty nice teams. Let me know what you think of them. Let me know if you have any success with them. And I'm going to leave there. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.